Hey guys, how's it going? This is Dilmer again, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm pretty excited today because I'm going to be talking about what I actually do as a parent to kind of teach my kids what I do on a daily basis. And one thing that I try not to do too much is actually force them to do something that they don't want to do. And my kids are really young. So one of them is 5 years old, and the other one is 2 years old. And the reason why I'm talking about being a parent and also being an indie game developer is because whenever when you're becoming an indie game developer, not only you are going to become an indie game developer, it's actually interesting because your whole family becomes part of what you do. And that's the thing that I've been noticing in the last few months, where I might be working on a level, I'm working on a game, and I leave my laptop close by one of my kids. And the other day I noticed my 5 year old was actually moving things around. He was using the Unity editor. He was moving a car that is in the level in the scene and putting the car on top of a building. So that's the kind of thing that I think is interesting, because we as parents want them to do what they love. And this is something that he just did on himself and didn't actually tell him to do that. So I was super excited, as you could probably notice, because here I am creating a game, and then now I see one of my kids actually creating a level, or moving some of the components in the game around. And that to me is it's everything. Like, if I can get my kid into innovating, into creating at such a young age, not to say that he couldn't do anything he wanted to do, but I'm gonna do as much as I can to place hints on his road. And if he wants to be a game developer, he can be a game developer. If he wants to be a developer, or he wants to do something completely different, I'm gonna support him in anything that he wants to do. But that to me was a life changing event, because I actually haven't experienced that before, where one of my kids is now interested in some of the things that I'm doing. So that is really cool. The other thing that I actually noticed him do was he was actually playing one of my games in the iPhone. And after watching him for so long, I know when he likes a game or when he doesn't like a game. So he might have a few games on my iPhone, and he said, "Dad, can I use your iPhone?" I'm okay. I give it to him, and I know if he likes a game, because he if he doesn't like a game, he's gonna exit out of the game in a few seconds. If he likes a game, you'll see him playing and reopening the game. So I have 3 different prototypes of some of the games that I work on in the past, and one of them was an augmented reality game, and the other one is actually also an augmented reality game. On one of them I have a building that I'm generating, and on the other one I have kind of a heavy equipment robot that is actually just walking around our house when he projects the phone to place the robot in our living room area. So he likes that. Like, I noticed he likes to actually place a structure in the living room and then basically blow up the structure. So I know when he likes the game, because he's going back to that game multiple times. So the other thing that I do too is, if I'm working on a game, and I think some of the levels are appropriate for him, I might have him play the game and see if he likes it, see how much time he spends on the game. So I'm using one of my kids as a tester. I'm using one of my kids as to see how long he actually plays the game until he gets bored and exits the game. So, but I think the most important thing about this video that I think impacted me a lot was that I can now have my kid, a person who I love and trust, trying some of my games, testing some of my games. And if I can inspire him at such a young age, and he's just 5 years old. And the reason why I say this is because a lot of people inspire me throughout. When I was growing up, I had an uncle that was an entrepreneur that used to sell Ataris all over the world. And he used to be such a kind person and professional person. And I also had an aunt who was a very successful engineer, and also another uncle who was a great doctor. So those are the things that I grew up with, and I think have helped me get to the point where I'm able to be a developer and create things and innovate, because I don't think we get anything for granted, and that's the thing that I want to teach my kids is I want them to, not to have it all. I want them to, work really hard. I come from Venezuela, from South America, and we came into United States, 18 years ago, and I know how hard life has been by living in another country and then coming to a new country. My kids don't know that. My kids are, they live here, and I don't wanna be, the parent who just hands things to him pretty easy. I want him to, work hard. I want him to, and not to say that I'm not gonna help him, because I love him and I wanna help him a lot, but I think overall what I really want him to do is do what he wants, and I want him to follow his dreams. I want him to get, if he wants to be an astronaut, I want him to be an astronaut, and then go be an astronaut. If he wants to be a chef, I'll support him to be a chef. If he wants to be an engineer, a developer, or an indie game developer, I'm gonna support him. So that's really what I wanted to cover in this video. I know a lot of you have kids and have, can relate to what I'm talking about right now. And I think the key for this video is just to, if your kid get inspired by things that you're doing, keep doing that, keep trying, keep inspiring them, and let them innovate, work with them to innovate in projects. I've been thinking about a lot of different projects that I want to do with him when he, is a little bit older, and those are, maybe build a little computer and start maybe the Legos, get him into one of the Lego competitions, and start creating some things with him, some things with my other kid when he gets older as well. So thank you guys very much. That's really what I wanted to cover in this video. If you guys have any questions about these, or you're a dad as well, and you have some tips or some other things that you want me to cover, let me know. And don't forget to share, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys.